When you see the whole world shaking and you feel your heart is breaking, take my hand, no hesitating. When you're just so tired of trying, all alone you feel like hiding. Together we'll keep fighting. There's no stopping us. Hold on, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. Don't stop now. Hold on, we're gonna make it. We're gonna mountains too high we can climb it. Feel it, we're taking the moment. There's no stopping us. Hold on, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. Can you see the sun is shining like a new hope? Feel it rising, coming over the horizon. There's no stopping us. Hold on, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. Don't stop now. Hold on, we're gonna make it. We're gonna mountains too high we can climb it. Feel it, we're taking the moment. There's no stopping us. Hold on, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. Don't you give up, don't you give up on me. Don't you give up, don't you give up now. Don't you give up, don't you give up on me. Don't you give up, don't you give up now. Don't you give up, don't you give up on me. Don't you give up, don't you give up now. Don't you give up, don't you give up on me. Don't you give up, don't you give up now. There's no stopping.
Good evening. I apologize for starting late, but I had some technical difficulties. I think our connection to Instagram is off, and that was preventing me from going on. It's actually through the software program that I used for this program, and I just couldn't get through. I tried to restart the program, so I had to cut out Instagram, and it seems it's working now. So sometimes with these programs, their connections to various social media websites, excuse me, I have a little cold, gets cut off and messes up everything. So I apologize. Well, anyway, I'm Chris Gudgelo. I'm a licensed associate broker and a licensed referral specialist for Realty Connect LLC. Excuse me again. And this is my weekly podcast, Real Estate with Mr. G. And I have a blog site, realestateWithMrG.blog. Okay. So just a little bit about my business. I do marketing for Realty Connect LLC. Through my services, you're able to purchase a home or list a home anywhere within the United States. So you could contact me. You could enter my website. You see it over here. Buy a list anywhere, realestateWithMrG.us. You enter your information, and you will be presented with 3 top agents in that location. And, they'll schmooze you, and you decide which one works best for you. This way you're not stuck with the wrong agent. I kind of like the service because you get to pick 1 out of 3. Even, everybody has a friend in real estate, and a lot of times, even when they're friends of friends, you don't want them to know all your personal information. That gets out. You like to keep it private. You don't want people talking behind your back. and it's good to use an anonymous service. Or when I say anonymous, people who are not close to you. And in business, be friendly but not familiar. And um, and again, you'll be presented with 3 agents, and you pick the one you feel the most comfortable with. Okay. And that's also with listing a property. So you could list a property. You have a house in Florida and California. We could help you with that. So I haven't shown this video. I have like 3 marketing videos for Realty Connect. 2 I created on my own, and 1 is from the company. Let me show one that I did. I kind of like it because it puts in a nutshell what I do. Okay, so I think that nicely puts it into a nutshell. Next week, I'll show you another one. So, anyway, that leads us into our topic question. What are we going to discuss today? All right. And I think we have, I think it's Melody from Los Angeles, if I'm correct.
Good day, Mr. G. Thanks for having me on your weekly video podcast. I am a first-time home buyer and want to purchase this year. There have been so many fluctuations in mortgage prices. I was hoping you could explain what is going on. Also, if you can also discuss why someone should get pre-qualified for a mortgage before they start looking at homes, that will also be extremely helpful. Please keep these highly informative podcasts going on in 2024. I enjoy so much with family and friends. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Melody, and thank you for those very kind words. Now, first, I'm going to go over a short article that was on my blog this week. And then I'm going to show you 2 other articles that came out in the news. One is from Housing Wire. The other one, I'll double check when I get it up on the screen. But it shows again, how volatile this market is now, especially with. Well, let's get to that when I go over first the uh, PDF file that we have. So let's open this one up here. Okay. So what's really happening with mortgage rates? So you might be feeling insecure or unsure about what's happening with mortgage rates, and that's because you heard someone says they're coming down. But then you read somewhere else that they're up again. And that may leave you, and here's an example, scratching your head and wondering what's true. The simplest answer is that when you read or hear will vary based on the time frame you're looking at. Here's some information that can help us clear up this confusion. So mortgage rates are volatile by nature, okay? In fact, they came down a little bit last week, and then they start going back up, and now it looked like they may continue to go back up. So mortgage rates don't move in a straight line. There are too many factors at play for that to happen. Instead, rates bounce around because they're impacted by things like economic conditions, decisions by the Federal Reserve, and so much more. That means you might be up one day and down the next, depending on what's going on in the economy and the world as a whole. So let's take a look at this graph below. All right. And this just gives you examples. This is going from October of 2023, okay, and ending with February here. So in the beginning of October, we see that at one point go over 7.7%, and then it peaks at almost, a little below 8%. Okay, and that's like within a 30-day time period. And then you see these kind of little ups and downs, and then it starts moving downward in November. It peaks up again in the middle of November, it drops down, keeps on dropping down after the holidays. Oh, actually, this would be during the holidays. Then it begins creeping up again. In February, we see a big jump going back up, and then it takes a little dip here. Now, in the articles coming up, we're going to see some possible more changes to that. So if you look at this graph, you see a lot of peaks and valleys, some bigger than others. And when you use data like this to explain what's happening, the story can be different based on which 2 points in the graph you're comparing. For example, if you're looking at the beginning of the month through now, you may think mortgage rates are on their way back up. But if you look at the latest data point and compare it to the peak in October, rates have trended down. So what is the right way to look at it? Mortgage rates are always going to bounce around. It's just how they work. Oops. Instead, to really understand the overall trend, zoom out and look at the big picture. Okay, you have to look at where they were in the last 3 or 4 months. If you look just within a week's time, you go crazy with the jagged line going up and down. When you look at the highest point in October compared to where rates are now, you can see that it come down compared to last year. And if you're looking to buy a home, this is big news. So don't let these blips distract you. The experts agree overall that the larger downward trend could continue this year. So again, you see it peak at the midpoint of October. It goes all the way up, and we definitely see a downward trend. But if in February you see it reach a peak again, it was higher than it was in January, goes down a bit, and it's going back up again. Now, with that in mind, I brought up these 2 other articles here. And Fed rate hikes are back in the conversation after hot inflation report. A higher than expected January inflation reading has pushed out Wall Street collective forecasts for interest rate decreases in 2024. Markets now don't expect a cut until June. A resumption of the Federal Reserve rate increases could even be in play. So, I just got some good news. One of the person who I referred within Realty Connect is under contract. This is really, really good. Okay, that's a little side note. So again, this showing that even though um, even though the inflation has gone down a little bit, it peaked up again a little bit. It's still kind of in the big picture the same way we looked at the mortgage rates. It's on the downward trend, but it picked up again. So the Federal Reserve, there's a small chance that they might actually raise interest rates again. But this hope of mortgage rates going lower, and that it might not that it could have happened maybe in April, or where they were actually expecting it in June, it may not happen now, maybe towards more the end of the year. So that's how volatile the market is. And then if I switch over to this other article, and again, our mortgage rates about to break out higher again. This was in the Housing Wire this week because of these reports. It's possible that the mortgage rates will be going up again. So the bottom line, really, about all of this is that I gave this example when we were going through the pandemic, and when rates were really, really low. Well, probably more so prior to the pandemic. And the type of people who've entered the market are the ones who weren't really thinking about buying a house. Okay, that wasn't in their plans of that year, but they said, "Hey, since the rates are so low, I'm going to take a stab at it." It's the same way when people are thinking about buying a car. They don't have to buy a car, but if interest rates are low and I got some extra money stashed away, I'll buy a car, even though I really don't need one. But I can't say no to the mortgage rates. Now the mortgage rates are high, or for the car, to the car loan rates. Now, if you have to move, you have to move, right? Sometimes it's something that you can't hold off. You can't wait for the nice warm spring season, or when rates are low, or when home prices are low. Because I saw another article this week when you could really forget about low home prices. It's really not going to happen. You might have more negotiating room now, but home prices are really not going to go down unless for some reason the economy goes bad. But everything shows that the economy is strong. So the question is, it's really to you. Do I need to move? Do I want to move? Each situation is different. It could be people who are moving who have a house already and they've had it for a long time. They built up lots of equity and they have lots of money left over when they sell that house to buy down the next mortgage or maybe even pay it off. So it's really a case-by-case situation. You can read what's going out there, but you got to do what you got to do, right? And then when rates go back down again, and if you say, well, I wasn't really thinking about buying a house, but I'm going to take a crack at it. That's when times have changed. The tide has changed. But right now, mortgage rates are high, home prices are high, and there are people that need to purchase. They're not able to wait for that perfect situation where all the planets and the suns and the moons align together. And it is, so again, there's different ways to go about it. Speak to your loan officer. See what programs they have out there. See if you're eligible for down payment assistance programs. Okay. There's also gift money. If you have, that rich relative, that could give you money and write it make a statement that it is a gift. So the bank knows, well, this is not new debt that you put on. That doesn't have to be paid back. All right. So they give you $10,000. It doesn't add on to, well, now I have $10,000 more in outstanding debt. And if they could do that, and you have a bigger down payment, or you buy down the rate, these are different ways to move along with that. Now I'm going to show one video on the what we just talked about the volatile mortgage rates, and then I'm going to show you a video on, because Melody from Los Angeles asked, can we go over the importance of pre-qualification? So I have two videos that I'm actually going to show you now, which is good because my voice is still kind of sore and I need not to talk so much. Okay. So here it is. Okay. Okay, now the importance of getting pre-approved, especially in today's market. All right, so that pre-approval is important because you don't have that many homes right now. We need more. More listings are coming on the market. I'm going to say that. It's not up to your levels of a few years ago, but it's getting better. But you have more competition. So that pre-approval, okay, that you need to get before you start looking is very, very important. Because then you know exactly what range you need to look in, not to go higher or that much higher. When you give in your offer, the seller knows that, hey, I don't have to wait around for this person to be pre-approved to speak to their loan officer. They're ready now. So I'm going to forget about the other offers, okay? And the other most important thing about getting the pre-approval now, because you may not be pre-approved right now, okay? You might have to work on your credit. You might need 1 or 2 or 3 months to get your credit in order so it reaches that number, that 620 or that 640 that the banks won't shake their head at. Okay? And it's best to find it out now and have a game plan on how to increase that credit than finding your dream house you're dreaming it. You're seeing your furniture, how it looks in there. You're so happy, and then you find out you can't get a mortgage. So do that now. All right. It's the best way to approach real estate. Don't say, "Oh, let me see if there's anything." No, no. And most real estate agents won't, and realtors won't even show you houses without you being pre-approved. And there's no cost for you to do that. Okay. The loan officer does that with hopes that you will use them to purchase that house, and then you could close. And when you close, the loan officer gets paid. All right. Now, okay. Now, don't forget on my blog site, I have these wonderful. Let me get the blog site up here. It's down over here. Okay. It's hard to. Okay. Real estate with Mr. G.blog/resource-materials. And on that page, you will have, and this is a quarterly report. Okay. Now we have the winter's guide for things to consider when you're buying a home. All right. And we have the seller's guide, winter 2024, of things to consider when you're selling your house. These come out on quarterly, and probably around March, maybe towards the end of March, I'll have the spring ones that I will upload for you to download for free. Okay. Let me make sure that I did everything I wanted to do so far. Okay, I showed the 2 videos, guys. All right. Let's get rid of this. All right. And I'm hearing from my producer, Isabel, that we may have some sort of special celebrity in the audience.
Mr. G, good news. We have a famous celebrity in the audience. Found in the Black Forest in Germany, Fritz was found to have magnificent strength. He was able to knock down oak trees with his teeth and carry them to various real estate development sites. Today we will see him stopping a wrecking ball with his own teeth. Ladies and gentlemen, Fritz the Wonder Dog.
Okay, thank you very much. A little noisy, but thank you for stopping by, Fritz the Wonder Dog. Okay, so that's our show for this week. It's another 3-day weekend. I hope you're enjoying with family, friends, and if you're in the market, I hope you're seeing homes. If you want to list a home, again, contact me. Okay, I will set you up with 3 agents for you to choose from. People who are not friends of friends, who will get into your business, know everything about you, and then go on the phone or go texting, or you don't want that. You don't need that. You don't have time for that. Okay, so give me a try, and we could always talk. I could give you a consultation, so you're getting 2 for 1, and again, anywhere within the United States of America. Okay? So be kind to each other, be friendly, and always remember the greatest power we have is to love, and the greatest gift, each other. And I'll see you next week.